Well, Lucas is doing the important things. I'm supposed to keep you busy for a few minutes, I suppose. Wait, am I...
Dichter bij de mond.
I can't go move much further because otherwise...
Dichter bij de mond.
Ah, top. Dit is beter. Ja. Christine, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I was not... At the beginning of this day, for those of you who weren't there, I asked everyone the question, when is the Dansstage still a Dansstage? And the answer, I think almost unanimously from the people in the room there was when you have workshops and when you have balls. So basically, you guys are not that easy to impress, not that difficult to impress. All we need to do is have some teachers and some music. And then apparently ball folkies are content, are happy. So obviously we're doing things a little bit differently this year. Normally I do this speech at the end of the Dansstage, like after all the last ball, but I'm doing it in between now because most of you will probably have trains to catch and things like that, and probably not everyone will be here anymore. So it's going to be a bit weird, thanking people who still need to play and things like that. But that is what this edition is about. I'm trying to make it a little bit of a traditional speech. So first I need to talk about the workshops and the things we've learned in the Dansstage. Apparently, Koen is looking for a new function within the Dansstage organization because I think he wants to be Truus. He said 2 steps plus a bira, is simple. So I think Koen can be found at the bar next to Stage. I'm not sure what it's about, but I only heard these things. He also learned how to predict the future. So if you find him in a tent with a crystal ball, that might also be something he's going to do now. And he said that this is fake news. So I guess that's all very valuable lessons you've learned today. Keep them in mind for the rest of your life, preferably. I think Raphael taught people how to be an anarchist, which in these times can be considered quite dangerous, I suppose, but useful in another way. Apparently the Vrijhof now has revolving doors. I mean, I haven't been here in 2 years, but I haven't seen them yet. Which can also be closed. Very important information. Louise's workshop, inspired a lot of scientific research into dizziness and left and right leggedness, I suppose. So I'm looking forward to reading all the papers so we can present them next Dansstage. We might do another lecture on that. And also I've heard from Sophie that balance is boring. Which from a first aid perspective is questionable. But whatever works. She also said she popped a lot of balloons. And some of them were static apparently, so they stuck to people. And walls indeed. Next ball we'll try to have like a big landscape full of balloons, like a bollenbak or something. We can make that work. I'm not organizing the next Dansstage, so I promise you anything. Another thing we've learned is that fortunately there is such a thing as muscle memory, because most of you have not been dancing for quite a while, me included, but if you put the songs on, and you quite easily remember most of the steps. And I'm actually really impressed with the level of what I've seen in the workshops and at the ball as well. However, muscles might have memory, but the shape and condition after 2 years, I'm not sure how you guys were doing, but half an hour into the first workshop, I was like, oh my god, I should have trained. Considering all those problems, I think it's good we had only 1 day of a Dansstage. Otherwise, people would have been broken down even more than they are. I hope you still have some energy left for the ball with Eric Corda. But that's an interesting thing to do. There's another answer to the question, when is a Dansstage a Dansstage?
It's not complete without a speech from you.
Very flattering. Ryan said it's not complete without a speech from me. Well, I'll be happy to keep on talking into this microphone until forever, but I actually wasn't looking forward to this speech that much because, like I said in the first year, in this morning, this is going to be the last speech I'm holding as an organizer. But more on that later. More on that later. There's another thing, especially Koen told us this. He was very, very disappointed that there was no Choco Mousse this year. So instead, we tried and solved that by creating a new mascot. Maxime actually bought this one. And I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but on the registration desk there was like a poll and you could vote for the name of the new mascot. Now, that poll was a bit like Dutch politics at the moment. I told you I leveled up, I have an opinion on these things now. There weren't that many votes, and there was a strong suggestion of Russian involvement. On the third place, we have Moosey McMoose Face as the name for the mascot. It's just, I think, a very good name to work in the opposition, trying to make things better from that position. And the first and second place actually were, well, I wouldn't say a tie, but the results were questionable. Let's say that. So, because of the suspected Russian involvement, we've awarded second place to the Musurka. It's a Slavic dance after all, isn't it? And the first place, the name that we decided to go with is actually Choco Mousse. I didn't know there were Russians here. So, I think the Choco Mousse is going to be a part of the community. And it might be tempted to do next year's speech. We can try and make that work. In the meantime, I will just pretend to be Choco Mousse and talk to you. Maxime made me wear this. I did not agree with it. Okay. Are they on backwards? What's the problem? Okay. So, when is a Dansstage? When things go wrong. Yeah! And actually, well, normally when we have about 250 people and 7 workshops and foreign bands that get lost, or either in translation, train stations, or time zones, there's a lot of potential to go wrong. But fortunately, even this year, we've managed to make it work. The traditional once in a 5-year locked out of the building occurred this morning. So while we all were here at 8 o'clock, and the doorman was here at, well, thought he had to be here at 9. Fortunately, the Vrijhof managed to get someone here quicker and open everything for us. But this is the reason why we were a bit late in the morning, and there were long lines at the registration and things like that. So yeah, that's one of the things, and also something we actually figured out. We recycle a lot of our emails and information letters and pretty much everything except for the program and things like that. And apparently there's a wrong address on the mails we send teachers, and that mail hasn't been changed in 10 years. But Berber used that same address to have the groceries delivered. And that's not the address of this building, but it's the address of the Blokhutte. Fortunately, we've managed to capture the missing groceries. But that's it's also the same thing the new organization will have to look into. I take no responsibility here whatsoever. When is a Dansstage? I think it's the most important thing is when all the people here are together. I've told you this before, but I will keep repeating it. The atmosphere and the mix of crazy niceness that you people bring here makes a Dansstage the wonderful festival that it is. And it has been a privilege to have been to organize this for 10 years. But I have not been able to do that without a lot of help and a lot of people. One of the reasons why I didn't introduce the organization at the beginning of the festival was because they were all busy. Because they were all running around doing things that they were supposed to have done an hour before, but the building was locked. I think, except for Lucas, everyone's here right now, so I would like to bring them to the front just to give you a bit of to actually introduce them, like I should have done, and also to give them the recognition that they deserve. We are missing Maud. And Evelyn. Oh, Evelyn is hiding over there, and Maud too. They can't come? They can't come, okay. So, everyone wave and smile and applaud at Evelyn and Maud, please. Our Miss Color Code and our basically problem solver and doing everything. And former truce and current truce, still truce. Yeah. Berber is also is standing right next to me. On the other side is Maxime, or Mother of Dragon / Mistress of Queen. And lastly we have Frank, our head of the head of the first A team, BHF. It gets lost in translation. Our head of the first A team and our master of communications. So give them a hand, please. And of course we still have our sound goblin, Lucas, who's lurking somewhere in the audio cell, sound checking a recorder at the moment. We might have just ruined the sound check, but whatever.
Just keep talking long.
I'll just keep talking. Organizing the Dansstage has actually been quite a burden for the last 2 years because we never were sure if things would go on. And the digital edition was fun, but also a lot of work. And we've asked ourselves the question several times each year: are we going to continue? Is this worth the effort?
Yes.
And the answer is hell yeah, of course. But it's actually been quite tough on these people. So. This is why I really want to take the time to show them that appreciation, because it takes a lot of perseverance to keep organizing a festival. You might not know if it's ever going to happen. Well, it will happen eventually, it's what we kept telling ourselves. But I think because this is one of the, I think, 4 or 5 scenarios we've all prepared and worked out over the last 2 years. Like different options of what we could have done and which things could have happened. So this is we've not been organizing one festival on a digital edition. We've actually been trying to organize 5. So really give them a very big applause because they're really good. Because this festival also would not have happened without the awesome teachers and bands we've had here. Raphael and Koen have been with us from almost the beginning. Koen has been there at the very first Dansstage, and Raphael has been here. I think it was the second or the third that he came, and has never really left us ever since. We're very glad about that. But also Louise and Sophie, who basically overnight made new workshops because we suddenly had room for 2 groups, for a group more. So please, I'd like the teachers to come forward because Berber has a little gift for you. So Louise, Raphael, Nele, and Sophie and Koen, please come to the forward. I've never seen them so excited at the start of the Dansstage. I mean, they're usually excited, but this was next level actually. So that excitement really inspired your workshops, I think, and we're very glad to have you. So if you all would I'll move up a little bit so you can all collect your prize at Barbara, and I will go to the next group of people we need to thank. She's still organizing. Color coded, I see.
Color coding. You're ready?
Make it a rainbow.
Yeah.
Okay, it's perfect. So go ahead, take some. The next group I need to thank, I hope they're still around here somewhere, is of course Naragonia, Toon and Pascal. You are also a very familiar face at the Dansstage, and I think we couldn't have wished for a better band to start. Oh, then you just get his chocolate. Of course, I also need to thank the first aid team, because I'm not sure if they've actually helped injured people this time. I hope. There have been some headaches, and I think there's been some band-aids dispersed. So the best thing for a first aider is, of course, not to need them. I did my best not to fall this time and break anything.
I did too.
Thank you, Erin. But still, they're very important people to have in our organization, because without them we could not organize this festival. So all the people in the first 18, please come to the front and collect your chocolates. They're all good.
She's asking which one's best, but...
Yeah. Salt and caramel.
So I would also like that next to we have a backup Lucas actually. Dennis from the technique team, but I think he's also working on the sound check, or is he here somewhere?
Probably working.
He's in the sound check. Okay, so we're gonna give him his chocolate later, but still all the love for Dennis. And of course, we do not have a truce this year, but we do have a Vicky, or actually, we're up to the third Vicky now, who happens to be now. The guy working the bar.
There's two of them.
There's two of them. Yeah,
There's
I don't know,
two
I
of
don't know
them.
what the other one is called. Do you know his name?
Vicky?
Vicky too? Yeah.
Vicky 3 and 4, please. They are doing such important work, they get the chocolate delivered. And I'm gonna have to ask Barbara to come back after this, because we have one last bar of chocolate to disperse for Camille. Because it happens to be his birthday today. Are we going to sing?
Yeah!
Up on the stairs, please. You get to wear the chocolate mousse thingy because
He wants to get rid of it.
okay.
Happy birthday.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Camille. Happy birthday to you.
I always save the best for last. In this case, I didn't. It's the practical issues. just some basic things. Lost and found items can be found at the registration desk, and we still have some rogue groceries left over. So we will put them there too. Feel free to take anything, because otherwise we'll have to throw it away. And if you don't want to waste anything, or if you still need breakfast tomorrow morning, and you're not staying at the hotel, feel free to take anything. We'll put it here after the speech, I think, or is it already there?
I don't know.
Me neither.
We'll fix it.
It will be there. It will be here as soon as our recorder starts playing. All lost and found items, please take them with you as well. There's a carpool list over there which you can use. And I think that's all the practicalities, isn't it?
Yes, but the
Okay.
best for last.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you didn't think you'd go home without a speech, did you? Yeah, and Maxime, come over here as well, because you're next. So I got to do a speech for Lars. I'm no longer part of the organization, but we did it together for 5 years. We did more, but when we first met, Lars thought I was 2 people. So there's definitely drinks involved. If you've been here before, you might also have seen the drunk schedules. Yeah.
I deny everything.
No, but Lars has been amazing. He actually has been the glue that kept us all together for a lot of years, together with Lucas, who's been here even longer.
We started at the same time.
Started at the same time.
Although
Awesome.
he disagrees with that, but,
Okay.
but we did.
I won't argue with Lucas, that's a non-starter. But we've had a lot of fun throughout the years, but we also had some difficulties, and we all overcame them. Like Lars already said, we had teachers from another time zone who forgot to set the right time. We've had teachers breaking things a week before the Dansstage.
We got teachers breaking things at the Dansstage.
Yeah, and let's not mention the pneumonia. So yeah, and we actually once lost a band at 2:30 at night. Yeah, and around 3 we realized they were just gone. They left for home, and the hotel keys were still in our possession.
Actually, I realized that you were asleep.
Oh. That's teamwork, right? No, but Lars, on behalf of the current and old organizations, I want to thank you for everything that you did. And it's been amazing, and you're still going to be here the next years only as a dancer. So don't worry, you won't have to miss him completely. So I want a round of big applause for Lars. I'm going to give the microphone to Berber now, because, like I said, Maxime, you're next.
That means I need to go stand over here.
For the books sometimes.
Oh. Here?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi. Maxime hasn't been in the Dansstage organization as long as Lars has, but that does not mean we value her less. She started 3 years ago, but it feels like 2 because we missed one. And so I think all of you know her, and I think all of Enschede knows her now as well, because her message that the ball would start has apparently been broadcast all over campus. She is our mother of dragons, mistress of coins, and she learned it in 1 year, and she got really good at it really fast, because the first year she did it on her own. She learned from the past treasurer that you should always say no and not extend the budget too much. But we begged her so that we could book Akkoordeon and Chakboom for the Dansstage in 2020, with the goal of making a loss, because we had too much money. No, it's true actually. It's true. She relented. and we actually made a really, really big profit. That's how well she did this. And she doesn't only do money things very well, but also other things, because she is the one who brings the most festival and fun atmosphere into the organization. She was the one with the idea to unite people, I think, past Dansstage, and she is also the person who gave birth to the idea of the, what's it called right now?
I'm glad you said
Choco
to
moves?
the idea of
Yeah, I was.
choco
Well, you look like you're related. So. Yes, that's everything on my notes. So, thank you for what you did. We really appreciated it. And because we do, we've got presents for you, I think. And I'm looking that way.
That way?
That way.
You all have to meet our company. We've got two alternative, I don't know what they are actually, but beings to add to your horde of dragons and to keep you company while you're missing us, of course. And can the beings move over to the podium so we can actually hand them over, or is that not in the plan?
Yes, yes, they're deliberating.
Okay, I think you'll...
Yes, yes.
They're nodding, they're nodding.
They're nodding, they're nodding.
No?
No? Yes? What? I don't know. Let's go.
No, they're coming. So give Maxime and also Lars a very, very big applause, because this is the last time you'll see them here. Thank you. Thank you. And unless you want to say something, I think Maxime is already distracted by the dragon. I think that is. Oh, you do want to say something.
Yeah. Because yes, I have not had a lot of experience with Balfolk before I joined the Dansstage organization. But what's true for Balfolk is true for this organization. I've always felt at home. You guys have made me feel really welcome and treasured and appreciated and treasured. Yes, I'm a treasure. So yeah, I definitely want to thank you guys, and well, it's been an amazing few years, and it's definitely with a tear in my eyes that I'm leaving. But luckily, I will still see you guys in future Dansstages, because I'm not leaving that easily. You're not rid of me yet.
And that's the end of the speech. The door is still closed, so I think we're still sound checking.
Well, then people can get some drinks.
Yes, please have drinks, that's good for us. And enjoy your break, drink some water, buy some drinks, and we'll let you know when the ball's starting again.
Yeah, 2 drinks. It's gonna take a few minutes.